How's everybody doing? I hope you're doing well. In today's video, we bring you some good news on the greenhouse. The saga continues. Okay, so last Sunday I talked about how I brought my super duper technically sound father-in-law out to this wonderful greenhouse. It's a beautiful sunny day. Me and Poppy are out there rolling around. I'm showing him around. Now look, he is one of the most technically sound individuals I've ever met when it comes to fixing things. He also graduated cum laude, or whatever you say, from Western Kentucky with an engineering degree. I had to take quantitative business analysis twice, okay? So this guy's super mega sharp, but he also has actually done some of this before. As I mentioned, he built a polycarbonate greenhouse in Hodgenville, Kentucky, okay? So the most technically sound individual I know is walking around and he's whistling and he's nodding his head, and I'm slowly seeing, he wouldn't come out and admit it or whatever, but I can definitely see that he's kind of enthusiastic and is buying into my plan. He's the man for the one-day project, comes up, fixes something here around, and this, I think, is a 1 or 2 day coming up project. He gets to help out with something quick, instant gratification, gets to see his daughter, gets to see his granddaughters, gets a good meal, goes home, so I'm pumped. Poppy's checking it out. But as I mentioned, on this lovely day, I see the lovely neighbor across the street just happens to be outside letting her dog out, and I roll over across the street to introduce myself, and she swiftly ninja kicks me in the face, saying, "You don't want nothing to do with that property. You look young. You don't want anything to do with that property. It's not zoned right. You can't run your business out of there." Literally in that tone, I'm not making that up. You can't run your business out of there. Doesn't even try to have a good conversation with me, and hands me the Ninja Black Book of Death. And I went through this book a little bit on Tuesday. You can click the links around here and check that out. Yep. In the words of the hilarious Mr. Old Freckles, Mr. Billy Burr, this lady doesn't want anything to do with Dusty being across the street. It hurts. I'm in pain, right? This does not feel good to Dusty. Dynamic emotions. Father-in-law loves it, neighbor across the street hates it. All on the same day, bundle it up for you all. So she hands me the Black Book of Potential Greenhouse Death. And honestly, I'm hurt by this. Like I said, I went through the book with you all on Tuesday. Click the links around here, check that out in detail. But part of me is thinking, she's trying to scare me off, but part of me feels like Bill Belichick. I said it, because I've actually got the other team's playbook. What's in the playbook? How can I use this to my advantage? Clearly, this isn't going to be an easy one. But I'm sly as a fox, pouring Hennessy over the rocks, knock you out your boots, rock you out your socks. And before I got handed this book, I made sure I spoke to my real estate agent, Mr. Chad Helm, about what was going on with the conditional use. Chad is a good dude. I've physically been in his presence just one time, but I might have had 5,000 phone calls to this individual. And when I tell Chad what I got going on with the city, when I first found out that I needed to get a conditional use for this, Chad was on the ball, and Chad said, well, if this is the case, and you need to get an approval from the city to run your business out of this location, we need to get an addendum to our current agreement with the seller. We need to get an addendum that states you are not able to buy this property if you cannot run your business out of it. So we're gonna backtrack just for a second here because I want you guys to understand what this conditional use means to my deal. Again, I'm under contract, $80,000, money is in escrow, docs are signed, the whole deal, and a deal is a deal. Or is it? As mentioned in the conditional use video on Tuesday, all surfaces must be sealed or paved to prevent dust. That's gonna cost more money. That was not in the deal.
Boy, and I like it cold, but it's cold even in Kentucky. So this is the greenhouse here. I'll show this. This is the conditional use permit right here. So this is public hearing. Here's what's going down. They're giving me the conditional use 130. So anybody who wants to have beef can come. And over here's the driveway we're worried about. Now right here it is. Now I just measured this. This is 20 feet across and then up here to the sides. So I want to do a 20-foot wide driveway, so hear me out. So there's the design. So I need to get asphalt for 36 feet up and then over. The zoning requires that I have it up and then one turn up to here, which I mean makes sense because this road, that looks like crap. That's not good. So people driving by, whatever. And then I gotta have it up to here. So that's what I've been trying to figure out, is how much is this asphalt going to cost, what's the square footage, and figure it all out. It is cold, but whatever, I got it figured out. This, by the way, is each one of these panels is 6 feet, so that's 10, so that's 60 feet of greenhouse I'm not even going to use right out of the gate. So that's what I'm thinking. I got a couple calls in. It's the day after Christmas, so nobody's, you know, trying to come out here and meet me, but getting it done.
What about all the trees that are required to be around the property? There's supposed to be a 6-foot high hedge. Look, I'm a tree-loving individual, okay? I love me some Mother Nature, but I'm not down with putting 6-foot tall trees that are gonna block the sun. The reason that I'm buying the greenhouse is so I can grow my tropical plants in full sun. These all have a cost. And finally, and this is a big one, I cannot run my business out of this location unless the conditional use is approved by the city. Okay, so we have two variables here. Variable one, the seller needs to sign the addendum that states basically if the city will not approve this use of the greenhouse, the deal is off. If I can't run my business out of it, deal's off, game over, money comes back to Dusty. And then part number two, I need to get the city to approve my conditional use so I can do all of the above and move into this greenhouse. Step one completed. The seller signs the agreement, the addendum. Now, he realizes it's gonna cost them more money, but he's trying to unload this property. He's been sitting on for 10 years. He signs the document. And then step two. And on December 20th, 5 days before Christmas, Dusty gets an email from the Planning and Zoning Commission in Fayette County. It says, "Good afternoon. Attached you will find an agenda and staff report on your case to be heard in front of the Board of Adjustments meeting January 8th, 2018. Check out what it says. Here comes the good news, folks. I will read this to you as it is sent to me. The staff goes and they meet and they review the situation. The staff makes a recommendation to the Board of Adjustments. So the staff does a lot of work and then they bring a recommendation to the Board of Adjustments. And here's what the staff recommends. The staff recommends approval of the conditional use for the following reasons. Okay, here's the fun part. The recommendation of approval is made subject to the following conditions. The commercial greenhouse shall be in accordance with submitted application materials, revised site plan showing all paving, landscaping elements, specified conditions below. I need to get a certificate of occupancy from the Division of Planning. A portion of the driveway shall be paved from the access point on Old Richmond Road to 1 car length past the turn. That's more cheddar Dusty's got to pay here, but I'm going to make the seller pay it. Additionally, 1 parking space shall be paved to meet accessibility and shall be paved from a sidewalk space to the building's entrance. Basically, I got to have some handicap parking, even though I'm not open to the public. Final design of driveway and circulation parking lot layout shall be reviewed by the Division of Traffic Engineer. In lieu of the 20 feet landscape easement, they say a cluster of low-growing evergreen trees. Low-growing evergreen trees along Old Richmond Road. The access point, evergreen trees should be planted to the north of the greenhouse. Screening in the parking lot, and 2 medium to tall trees shall be planted along the western property line in the gaps between the 2 tall trees existing on I-75. Additionally, a storm water management plan shall be implemented according with the engineering manual subject to the Division of Engineering. Again, more cash. Any pole lighting in the parking area or loading area or other outdoor areas shall have a maximum height of 12 feet and shall be a shoebox or similar design, blah, blah, blah. Doesn't say anything about 400 watt metal halides. All sales should be conducted remotely with no sales taking place on the property. Whatever it is, what it is. And then number 9, sanitary sewer treatment and garbage pickup shall be provided privately. This, my friends, is what the staff at the Lexington Fayette County Government Planning and Zoning recommends that I have to get done to approve my conditional use. If I do these things, all of these steps, they recommend that if I do all these things to the board, they approve this conditional use. It's time to figure out what all these steps are, but at least we got the city working with us. Oh, yeah. Do me a favor, folks. Let me know what you think about this project so far. Did you ever think I'd get my knees this deep in the mud? Drop me a comment on what you think I should do in this situation. Any thoughts, comments, whatever, they have been fantastic. I love you. More fish tank videos coming at you every day. Hit the subscribe button, the notification button to find out more. Tank on. Later.